Night 2 of SummerSlam 2025 has occurred. It's happened. Some very interesting and very controversial events happened at this 2025 SummerSlam. There was a big surprise at the end, one that I think a lot of folks were not expecting, but it was not the Cody Rhodes turn. I really thought they were going to do the Cody turn. And there's people who think that maybe they were going to do the Cody turn, but then something changed late in the game. But Cody did not turn. However, we're going to talk all about that here in my review for the show. First of all, this show as a whole was much better than night 1. Pretty much every match delivered. I would have to say that my least favorite was probably the steel cage match with Solo and Jacob Fatu. Like, it wasn't a bad match, it's just my least good match. But the good thing is that every match had its own identity and had its own vibe. You know, they opened up with the triple threat, which was the triple threat women's match. Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley trying to take the belt off of Naomi. Very similar to the three-way at WrestleMania, with a similar finish as well. I really liked Naomi's new presentation. I was one of the ones that wasn't quite sure Naomi could work as a heel because she's so damn likable. Naomi is a legit, likable person. So having her be a heel and actually work heel and do heelish things. She's got that dastardly face. She's really leaned into that heel persona, and I like it. And they had a killer match. Rhea Ripley got pinned, and so now Rhea Ripley and Iyo Sky have tried multiple times, to get the title. Well, I mean, Iyo Sky was the champion. Rhea Ripley's tried multiple times to get the belt off of her. The three-way feud with Bianca. I wonder what they do with Rhea now. Because they could always do an Iyo versus Naomi singles match, and we probably will see it. But what do you do with Rhea Ripley? She lost again. Michael Cole almost made it seem like maybe she's hexed or something like that. But, there's other women for her to feud with if needed. But the match was great. The opener was great. Triple H actually opened the show and, kind of got everybody ready. And he teased that, you ain't seen nothing yet. Which to me, I really thought was going to be the Cody turn. But I was wrong. The Oracle was not right on that one. But we'll get to that later because I have things to say about it. So the second match on the card was the TLC match. And this was one of the craziest, most nuttiest TLC matches they've ever done. I think it had the most amount of guys in it. It was 6 teams. And, dude, we saw so much stuff. We saw a quadruple top rope to the outside table splash from multiple teams. We saw DIY go through 2 tables after being pushed off by Uncle Howdy. The story of the match was that basically the other members of the Wyatt Six were helping out the champs retain. Now, I talked about how this match is perfect for the Wyatt Six to lose because they don't get pinned, right? You can protect them. However, one of the things that I was glad they did is actually have the Wyatt Six other members interfere because it doesn't make any sense. The match is no disqualification. So you might as well have these other members help out. And they did. Nikki Cross had a moment. They all sort of had their part. Candice LeRae took a bump from the top of the ladder. From a ladder through another ladder that was really scary. They went out there and it was a demolition derby type of a match. They introduced the Dudleys and the Hardys, and they even put over that they're going to have a match at Bound for Glory, which they announced on the last TNA pay-per-view, between the Dudleys and the Hardys one last time. So in October, if you are a fan of the Dudleys and Hardys, you're going to get that on the TNA Bound for Glory pay-per-view, which is their biggest event of the year. So, and that's a nice match to put on there. Part of me kind of wishes WWE would have done that match, because that is where the TLC, like that's where those two teams, obviously the Dudleys got big in ECW first. That's where they got the most amount of fame. But it was the TLC matches that everyone remembers. They were the first trio. Edge and Christian, of course, being signed to AEW wouldn't appear. But those three teams were the ones that did the first, two TLC matches. And many others down the road as well. So that was nuts. It was cool seeing them, though. But yeah, this match, or this show already 2 matches in, is already blowing away night one. Like I said yesterday, night one had a great start and a great finish, but everything else in the middle was kind of average. This show was much, much, much better. So after that, Becky Lynch, who now has new theme music as a heel, and like I said before, I don't really like some of these new themes. This one, I don't know. I think I like her older one more. She had to defend the Intercontinental title against Lyra Valkyria. And this match was no holds barred, no count out, must be a winner. And if Lyra lost, she couldn't challenge for that title as long as Bayley was... Bayley. As long as Becky was champion. Now, it's funny how they put this over as being no DQ when the first 2 matches were also no DQ. In fact, most of the matches on this card were no DQ. Most of them, just different types of no DQ matches. So this match, I think, is going to be remembered as being the kendo stick war match, because we saw more kendo sticks here than any other weapon, probably because they were going to do different stuff in the other matches, more table bumps and things like that. And there were a lot of creative uses of the kendo sticks. Now, one of the more creative spots in this match, which was crazy, is that Lyra Valkyria was stuck inside of a chair. Like, it's hard to explain this, but Lyra's so thin. Like, I have not seen her in person yet. Like, I haven't been to a live show where she's been at. But she's probably very, very petite. Because literally, when you take a folding chair, the part that the part in between the top part and the bottom that you can open, her body fit in there. And so Becky put her inside the folding chair and rammed her into like the steps and into the post. I had never seen that before. That is, I've seen a lot of wrestling, man. You should know this about me by now. I have been watching wrestling for 36 years. Don't forget, I'm 41, man. I started when I was a little kid, and I've never seen that before. Maybe somebody did it at an indie show once. I'm sure, but I had not seen that before, and I've seen a little bit of everything. At one point, Bayley comes in. Now, this match, the finish of this match was a little unusual. So they tease that Becky wants Bayley to attack Lyra because it's almost like Lyra's the one that sort of caused this, even though all she wanted was a tag partner. Like, Lyra's the most innocent person out of this threesome here. She tried to get Bayley. Bayley couldn't make it, so she got Becky. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong, at least, and Becky's the one that attacked her, but Bayley did not. Because remember, Becky, I was worried that Bayley was going to turn, but it wouldn't have made sense now looking at it, because Becky was the one that attacked Bayley and admitted it on Raw. So instead, they do like the SummerSlam 97 spot where Bayley's about to hit Becky, but she misses, and she ends up hitting Lyra, who gets caught in the man slam or whatever, the Uranagi for the 1, 2, 3. So Becky Lynch is still champion with new music. Again, 3 matches, all different, and they were all very entertaining. Now, the 4th match on the show was the steel cage match between Solo and Jacob. As I mentioned before, my least favorite match. They at least had the Samoans all come out and, get involved. At one point, Jimmy came out to help Jacob. And it became sort of this issue where they were going to do, come hell or high water, they were going to help Solo retain. And they did. And then after the match, Jacob did a moonsault from the top of the cage on, I think it was JC Mateos and Solo. And that was the highlight of the show, or the highlight of the match, not so much the show. But when I noticed that when he was climbing up, there was a platform there. And so when there's a platform already set up there, that's how you know that he's going to jump, because I didn't notice it till he climbed. But, Jacob is a really big guy. So for him to do a moonsault at the top of the cage, it's going to require really good balance. And he probably could not balance without that platform. I don't blame him because, I mean, dude, if you're over 250 pounds and you're a wide guy like he is, it's just not going to be that easy. And it's safer to put the platform up there, but it kind of telegraphed that he was going to jump. So I guess this feud is over, or maybe not. They could keep it going as a TV feud. I guess we'll see. Co-main event, which it's not really the co-main event. The Rhea Ripley match, I think, is more so the co-main event. AJ Styles, Dominic Mysterio. This was an Eddie Guerrero tribute match in many ways. AJ Styles came out. First of all, Dominic came out with a Rey mask, and they talked a lot about that Rey versus Eddie feud from 2005 for custody of Dominic. That was discussed a lot on commentary. AJ comes out with his son, who actually looks like how Dominic looked in 2005. He even had like the same hair. And AJ comes out in a lowrider with Eddie Guerrero clothes on. So they're going at it or whatever. It was a tribute to Eddie. This was a pretty solid match. I would put it in line as like a Raw main event. But it wasn't supposed to be like, this match was not supposed to be like a barn burner. It was supposed to be a little bit of comedy and some good wrestling, and it definitely was. AJ is still phenomenal. I know that he wanted to retire last year, and he's probably going to retire either this year or next year. But, man, like, he still has a lot of juice left in him, man. So they did a bunch of Eddie Guerrero tribute shit. Like, they had Dominic try to like fake that he got hit by a chair and pretend to be knocked out like Eddie used to. And then AJ did it even better. Before the ref could see, AJ wraps the chair around his head and goes down. So the ref turns around and sees two guys down and has no idea what to do. The finish of the match was literally a tribute to WrestleMania 20, which was Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. In that match, Eddie Guerrero loosened up his boot so that when Kurt went for the ankle lock, Eddie could weasel out of it, like, squirm out of it. And he did, and he caught Angle on a small package and pinned him. This match was very similar. AJ put the calf crusher on, and Dominic weaseled out, was able to hit the frog splash. And then he actually hit him with a boot, and with the actual boot, like he got out of the calf crusher, then hit AJ with the boot behind the referee's back, then did the frog splash. Sorry, I went out of order there. And so he got the 1, 2, 3. Dominic retains. No Finn Balor face turn just yet. They've been teasing this one for a while. Wonder if they canceled it. Then we have our main event. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, rematch from WrestleMania. This match completely blew away not only WrestleMania, but this is the best match that John Cena has had in years. In years. I mean, this was insane. Now, I've complained in the past about kicking out of too many finishers, but if it's a main event, it makes more sense to do it in a main event. And at least in this match, they had a lot of different creative ways to hit their finishers. So Cena comes out, right? And first it's all black, like the traditional Cena entrance from this year when he was a heel. But then it actually shifted to Cena like having the old, like the colors. He comes out wearing the title. He's back to being the old John Cena. Like he's literally the old John Cena. He comes out, runs to the ring. The heel shtick is over. And I'm wondering too, like, if he was lying about the SmackDown thing. No, I think that this surprise with Brock Lesnar, I think this was a last minute idea because Cena didn't even hint at a face turn whatsoever before SmackDown. So I think clearly this may have been a last minute idea. Instead, he went out there and had a phenomenal match with Cody. I mean, we saw AAs, we saw Cody hit multiple Cody cutters. The match was just, it was a main event match in every sense of the word. At one point, they hit each other. They do like the chair swinging, and Cody kicks the chair. Cena's chair and goes right after him. And I was watching the match and I was looking to see like what they were gonna do. Like if Cody was gonna do a subtle turn, and he didn't. He hasn't. So what happened was he's not yet. So what happened was at one point Cena hits. At one point they go brawling through the crowd, and they actually wound up like Cena went up the ramp in the elevator where Cody comes out of, and he's holding Cody in the FU position or the AA position from that elevator. And I thought that was awesome. So Cena brings Cody to the ring, and at one point he hits not only 2 AAs, he hits the top rope AA. And I thought, holy shit, he's got him right here. Because no one's ever kicked out of this many AAs. Like, you know, it was madness. He had, I don't know how many he hit him with. And then he did a top rope one. I thought that was the finish. Cody kicks out. Cody breaks a part of the corner and starts beating Cena with it. At this point, I'm thinking, here comes the heel turn. But no, Cena did not gig. He didn't bleed. They didn't go for the heel turn. I was wrong. Instead, Cena catches Cody in the STF and wraps like the rope around his neck. Cody gets out of it. He hits 3 crossroads. Again, the move that pinned Roman Reigns was a triple crossroads. And John Cena kicked out. John Cena kicked out of a move that pinned Roman Reigns. 3 crossroads. And then Cody sets up a table and does a very nasty looking top rope Cody cutter, where it looked like he went like backwards and like hit him. Like it looked devastating. Like I feel like it hurt both guys. And like Cena's getting up, holding the ropes, like he's almost out of it. And Cody's behind him and he does the John Cena salute. And then hits the crossroads and gets the 1, 2, 3. Clean pin. John Cena has passed the torch to Cody. Gives him the title. Cody's very emotional. Very, very emotional. Crying. I'm waiting for the turn. I am waiting for the turn that didn't come. Cody leaves to give Cena the ring. Brock Lesnar's music plays. Brock Lesnar comes out with the black cowboy hat, gets in the ring, F5's John Cena, and that is going to be your next John Cena match against Brock Lesnar. Another legendary opponent in John Cena's career. However, this is a very, very controversial move the company is making. Because Brock Lesnar, although he is not a defendant in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, he is in the lawsuit because he would have been one of the participants of the sex trafficking, because as the story goes, Vince used Janelle Grant as bargaining power to sign Brock to a new deal Brock never got to do anything with her because he was apparently drunk or something like that. So because Brock didn't actually get to do anything with her, he's not guilty of sex trafficking, but he was still, the intent was still there. And because of that, WWE has taken Brock off of everything. Like, we have not seen Brock since, God, the first non-appearance was at the Rumble 2024, but I think his last appearance was prior to that, like 2023. Yeah, we have not seen Brock in quite some time. I don't know if this is the right move, man. There's a lot of controversy right now because Vince, like Triple H, has this new position, which is an old position with the Trump administration. And, you know, a lot of people hate Donald Trump. And a lot of people know that Trump is probably going to pardon Vince because they're old friends. And if you didn't think he was already going to pardon him, he's probably going to, now that Triple H is in his cabinet. And Linda's there too, but I think either way it would have ended up being the same thing. And I don't like talking about politics on here, but I'm just going to say that a lot of people are pissed about Brock coming back because it's the same old carny wrestling business. I saw a very mixed timeline. I saw people that were pissed that Brock is back because, well, I'll give my thoughts in a minute. Because of the whole thing with Janelle Grant, I'm just more surprised they actually did it. And then some people are happy he's back because people like Brock. So, me personally, I don't want to see John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. I know that that's one of Cena's old feuds, a rival going back to 2003. Like, they have history. But I think if you're going to put the focus on wrestling booking, Brock versus Cena doesn't help anybody. If Cena wins, it doesn't really affect Brock. And if Brock wins, it doesn't really affect Cena. You know what I mean? And Cena doesn't have to win any more matches, man. His run, he's only got 4 months left. Like, his run, now he's a face, is coming to an end. The heel turn was a failure. His run is in the last leg now. And I guess Brock's going to be his big rival. Or at least maybe for Clash in Paris or the Perth shows, Brock will be wrestling Cena. I just feel like if I'm the booker and I have Brock coming back, I would more use him to like put over Braun Breaker. Something like that I think is more effective. You know, or put over Gunther. I think those two matches are at least building to the future. Doing Brock and Cena again just isn't all that interesting, in my opinion. So, politically, like I said, I don't really talk about politics on here. And Brock technically did not commit a crime. However, the intention seemed to be there. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. SummerSlam 2025. By the way, I may do a whole separate video about this whole thing because I think it needs to be talked about. SummerSlam 2025 Night 2 was much better than Night 1. What did you think? Leave your comments down below. Cody is the champ once again. Where do you go from here? I guess we'll see. Take care. See you soon.